Hey, good afternoon. This is Bob from Trade Genius for Next News Network, and it's Thursday, the 14th of July. And what I want to talk to you first is the news out of Japan yesterday. Actually, it took 2 days for it to really kind of sink in for people, but Ben Bernanke went over to talk to the Japanese financial people about what they can do. They're really struggling trying to keep the genie of deflation, which is the enemy of the elite and a friend of the poor, trying to keep the inflation game going, because they have convinced everybody that inflation is good when in fact deflation is good, if it's the right kind of deflation. And what's going to happen to us is Japan is going to show us the way, and they're going to show us the way into the abyss, because they continually debase their currency, and more people are going to opt out of using that currency for trade and for wealth building, and then the currency will become worthless. And so, this is just another gambit which has failed. The whole year, everything they've tried so far in Japan has failed. We got a pop in the market for us because they're, the elites get all excited about this. Is how do we keep our assets up? But one thing though, and when I was doing some merger and acquisition work is, the value of a company is their ability to create cash and free cash. And what's happening with our economy is we're creating these fake asset values that aren't rooted in the ability to generate cash. So at some point we're going to wake up and there's going to be an aha moment, and the assets are going to get repriced. And that's what happened in 2000, 2001. It's what happened in 2007, 2008, and rest assured it's going to happen again. The ability for companies to generate free cash flow is falling. They using these currency manipulations to make the value of the company look better because the value of the currency fell is only very short term, because when your currency falls, everything that you need to buy costs you more money. And if you haven't noticed, your income hasn't gone up. So at some point we hit the wall, and I've been talking, we're hitting the wall this year. And so this grind up is short lived. I'd be very surprised if we go up too much higher than now before we get a pretty sharp correction. And I think that's going to happen after the next Fed meeting. In the meantime, now though, is that gold and the miners are retaliating. So they try to sell off gold and silver in the miners. That's their normal play. Hey, look at our currency is really good. Stay with us. Don't go into the alternate world. Well, it got bought back right away again. And I think gold and silver and the miners and the people that are buying are telling people, hey, you know what? We went off this ship. And, today, if you look at, the markets, is that you got the pop, but as soon as the market opened, it's been selling down and flattish. Oil could not sustain the move. It moved up a little bit. It's still trapped in the range, and we're still, convinced unless it breaks out, it's going to break down. It's not going to stay here. There's too much oil out there that's not being absorbed in the marketplace, and you can only keep this game going for so long. I encourage you to Google the words contango and backwardation, because you're going to start hearing about that in the oil market. And really what it means, bottom line, is that once oil moves into this backwardation, it costs them more money to store oil than to keep it off the market. And so you're going to start seeing people trying to make some plays to move this oil into the economy, and that's going to drop prices down. It's good news for us, bad news for people who own oil, and it could be bad news for the stock market, because a lot of the stock market value now is tied to oil and the banks that are lending to the oil companies. So as we see right now, I think it's going to be same old, same old. I think there's going to be a lot of tay-to-tay here going on here. The market's going to try to push up. It's going to probably kept getting sold down. And the gold market's going to try to sell it off. It's going to try to keep pushing up. Oil is going to struggle here. And the grains are weather dependent right now. So our view is long-term, ags up, gold up, oil down, market down. And we're staying with that conviction, because, the trends are telling us that's going to work. So anyway, this is Bob from Next News Network for Trade Genius. And Have a great day, and I'll talk to you all on Monday. Bye-bye.